If the words cash flow immediately make you feel tense or overwhelmed, you're not alone. A lot of business owners say that they hate numbers, but what they really hate is how unpredictable cash can be. Some months, everything feels fine. Other months feel tight and stressful, and it's not always obvious why. That confusion is not because you're bad with money, and it's not because you're missing some advanced financial skills. You see, cash flow is usually taught as a maths problem, but it's actually a timing issue. And once you understand that, cash flow becomes a lot calmer. In our previous videos, we've been discussing how you can tell if your business is actually making money. We looked at how revenue, profit, and your bank balance, they all tell partial stories. Your cash flow is going to be what connects all of these signals together. It explains why a business can be profitable but still feel unstable, and why a healthy looking bank balance can disappear just like that. So in this video, we're not going to be looking at formulas and spreadsheets. We're actually going to just focus on understanding how cash actually moves through your business. When people hear cash flow, they often think of reports or statements, but cash flow itself is much simpler than that. Cash flow is just money moving in and money moving out over time. That's it. The confusion usually comes from people forgetting the time part of the cash flow. Remember, cash flow is a sequence, it's not a number. There are three simple realities that explain most cash stress in a business. First, cash coming in. This is not where you make the sale, this is when you actually get paid for the sale. The second is cash going out. Oftentimes in business, expenses leave the business before income comes in. And third, it's going to be the gap between these two. That gap is where stress or calm live. So when money is going out long before it comes in, the pressure within your business starts to build. On the flip side, if money is coming in long before it has to come out, your business feels a lot more stable. So you see, most cash problems are not performance issues, they're actually just timing issues. Now, cash flow feels very uncomfortable because it reveals the bare truth. There are no emotional buffers when it comes to cash flow. Your cash flow is going to show you your reality way sooner than your profit does. And your cash flow is going to force you to think ahead instead of just reacting. Avoiding your cash flow feels good in the short term, but it's going to create drama later on in the business. Achieving clarity around cash flow in your business can feel quite confronting in the beginning, but it creates calm very quickly. One of the most important things that cash flow clarity gives you is runway. Runway isn't about exact calculations. It's not about these complicated forecasts. Runway is simply about knowing how much time your business has. So when founders don't understand cash flow, they're thinking in daily cycles or weekly cycles, very short-term cycles. And the question they keep asking every day is, are we okay? Are we okay? Are we okay? Are we okay right now? When founders get clarity on their cash flow, they start to think in months. They understand how long their business has before their cash runs out. And that shift from panic to perspective is one of the biggest emotional benefits of cash flow clarity. Understanding your cash flow is going to turn today's bank balance into time for your business. So, what can your cash flow tell you and what can't it tell you? Your cash flow is extremely useful. So, here's what it helps you with. It helps you with predictability, planning, and reducing stress. But it doesn't replace everything. Your cash flow is not going to be able to tell you if your pricing is right. It won't be able to replace the understanding of the margins in your business, which means it's not going to be able to tell you if your business model actually works. Remember, cash flow is a translator of your reality. It's not a verdict on your business. So this area of cash flow is probably the biggest issue that startups and new businesses face. Even experienced businesses, until they understand their cash flow, this is going to be one of the biggest issues. So here's what I see. A lot of times when founders have large bank balances, they feel confident and they overspend. Why? Because they're just looking at the bank balance. They don't understand that there's a runway. That cash needs to sustain the business for the next few months. When the bank balances are low, they're panicking. They're not understanding the timing of what's coming in and what's supposed to go out. And as founders start to get clarity on their cash flow, I see that confidence returning and a lot more calm being in the business, understanding what decisions can be made. Cash flow is going to be able to help you to make decisions such as what to invest in, if you can hire more people, what you can do when. Can you get an additional loan? Will you be able to service that loan? Cash flow no longer is this mysterious black hole where only problems come out of it. So if cash flow is something that you've been avoiding and it's caused you a lot of stress, here's what you need to understand. Cash flow is a lot simpler than it's been made to feel. Cash flow is about timing and movement, not about maths. And once you understand that, the next questions that you're going to ask are going to be very specific. You're going to wonder about the time delay between sales and cash, and why is it that this timing issue breaks a lot of businesses that are otherwise making a profit? Why is it that these cash flow problems usually show up late? And so how do you then stabilize your cash flow without necessarily chasing growth? That's what we're going to be uncovering over the next couple of weeks. I'll leave you with this bonus tip. Getting to a place where you understand your cash flow is going to start with a great foundation of the basics: good bookkeeping, good accounting, making sure that your bank transactions are recorded into your accounting system, your invoices, your expenses are all recorded correctly and on time within your business consistently is going to be the driver for you to get to a place where you start to understand your cash flow patterns much sooner rather than waiting months before you get to understand your numbers and you're removed from that reality. So get the basics right, and then you can start working on your cash flow. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you guys on the next one.